Hello everybody. Welcome. Today we're having a fun event. It's called Hop On In, and it is hosted today by Adoria Creations, and we are streaming into the Crafty Bunch venue group over on Facebook, and I am also streaming into my YouTube channel. I got Christy stuff here on my desk. So welcome. I was thinking a while ago I wasn't being a very good teammate, and I hopped on so I could see some of my other presenters that were in the event, and then I realized I'm first. so I'm like, okay, I didn't miss anybody. So when you pop on in, just let me know you're here, and I would love to, say hi. Hey, Sherry and Linda. You guys, this is going to be fun. We're going to today make a little folio, and it's going to have a bunny on it, and because that's what we're supposed to do today is add an element of a bunny, and so that's what we're going to do, and that's why it's called the Hop On In event. So we're just going to make an easy little folio today, and I'm going to pop us down here. This is primarily going to just be paper crafting today. So I hope you don't mind that. And I'm going to try to make it easy. Although sometimes that has a way of getting away from me. First we're going to start out, and I'm going to use a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. And we're going to make it a little bit different. So I want to make it as easy as possible. Let me see if I'm all the way down here. Sometimes it's easier. Let me see there. Okay. I think all of us probably tend to work closer to our body, and it makes it kind of hard to, to stay in the field of vision when we're going live. So first what I'm going to do is I am going to score this, and I'm first going to score it at 4 5/8, and there's kind of a method to my madness today, and I know it's I know some people do not like when I give these other measurements that are a little off. Hey Sue, how are you? And I'm sorry about that, but this is how it's going to work out best, I think, for us today. And then over here we're going to score at 9 1/8. And I hope I got that right. I hope I measured correctly. I just have a basic, very basic template for us. Okay, and now we're going to flip it around 90 degrees here. And on this edge we're going to do 2 3/4. So 2 3/4 on that little edge. Just score it. That's going to make a little pocket on the bottom. And then up at the top, we're going to do 9 1/4. So this is going to give us our little places that are, whoa, I almost cut it. I wanted to make it kind of a good size folio. And when I decided some things that it might be good for, I changed the size that I was going to make it. I wanted to make it easier than this, and then when I thought, well, what would we do with that? Because I think it's always nice if you have an idea or, something to say, oh, I could use it for that, right? So now what we're going to do, it's kind of hard, but see where you know what? Let's go ahead and fold it a little bit. If we fold it at our score lines, I think you'll be able to see it easier. And this paper, some of the papers I have are kind of more oh, wait a second. No, that's the same. I was going to say some of them are a little bit of a different tone on one side than well, no, I don't know. No, this one is. It's a little bit darker on this side than the other. And I don't really, when I was pulling out paper and I was looking at it, I couldn't tell that it was any different at first. So I guess I don't really mind which side we're using, right? Hi, Nicole. Hi, Martha, Jeanette. Everybody come on in. Okay, and now I'm going to just fold it over here so we can see. because I want you to see where we're going to cut. We're going to cut some sections out. So basically what I've done here, and you know, I just folded the paper and then I decided, okay, this is where it is. Hi, Stephanie, how are you? So what I wanted to do was I wanted to make this section big enough that if we wanted to, we could put some photos in here. This could hold some photos in the center section here. And then on this side, I wanted to make it big enough that maybe we would want to include like a gift card. So we're just going to have this one fold up. So what we're going to do here is we are going to slice out some sections. We're going to slice out the 4 corners. Okay? And that's what we're going to do. So that's kind of nice when you've got one of these with the pointy blades, because then I can drop it in. I can see my line over here and I can just cut that. And then I want to be able to see up here. You know what? It's kind of hard for me to see where that is. I need to line it up though, so I can see. I want it straight. That's always important when we're doing paper crafting, right? Oh. And then I want to just pull it down here to this score line again. Okay. And then we'll turn it this way and cut these out. And it's just kind of easier than using scissors for me. Now, you might think for yourself you would much rather use scissors, and that's fine. You just do whatever works, right? Oops, and this side didn't get cut down here yet. And that's up here. Kind of line it up. As long as I'm doing this side, let's go ahead and do these. If I line that score line in my track, I should be okay. Isn't it fun watching people cut paper? Hi, Diane. Hi, Estella. So the fun part is when we get to folding and seeing what we can do, what we can make, where we can put some pockets, what we're going to decorate with. That's the fun part, right? And like I said, today we're mostly just going to be doing some paper. I didn't get my stuff cut out yet. So a lot of it is just going to be, man, I tell you what, I can tell my blade needs to be replaced. I'm starting to get those raggedy edges. And I don't like them. I don't like those raggedy edges. Now, when you've got some paper is a solid core and it's the same color all the way through. And some paper is what they call white core, and then it's white. And white core paper is kind of fun because that's the kind of paper that if you want to tear it or do some things like that, then you've got that fun white edge, right? You love fussy cutting. Oh, not everybody likes that, Stephanie. Okay, now these, you want to be careful and not just necessarily pull them out. Oh, let's see, where's my tiny scissors? I had some teeny tiny sharp scissors here. And they were even still in a little box. They're in a little tin. They're really... Diane says she's hopping over from Arizona. Wonderful. In their little case. So a lot of times you want to make sure you are just snipping these out, or you can use a little craft knife if that's what you like to use, but it's better not to just completely pull. Well, I say that one, I could tell that one was ready to release. Okay, so some of these are looking a little rough, and I think I will grab an emery board thing and kind of just smooth them down a little bit. And that works really good to get those little ragged paper edges off. just like your nails. It'll just take those little bitty things off and smooth them off. And sometimes you might have to kind of, bend your, or not bend, you kind of hold it at an angle to get the edges where you need it to come off. Because sometimes if you're doing it right up, straight up and down, it's not grabbing the edges that are loose and need to be trimmed off. Okay. My goodness, who would have thought just cutting our main thing would take us this long? It's still going to be easy, I promise. Oh, nice. You do it because it's relaxing. That's great. You know, a lot of people do. A lot of people will sit and work on cutting out, the printables or fussy cutting, things like that. Okay, so now here's what we've got. This side, we can fold inside like this. Oh my goodness, this really... Well, I tell you what, I know how to take care of this, you guys. Let's just fix this real quick. We'll use some ink on it. And ink can be like makeup for paper. Kind of cover up some of these boo-boos. And look what happened when I probably made that white core stick out worse by using that emery board. I really did not expect that to that blade to be so raggedy, or make raggedy edges. The blade's not raggedy. Let's see. We don't need to do all of it. Just some places that we notice might benefit a little bit. And kind of if you do it at the edge. That's one thing nice about these brushes and some of these things, is it allows you to kind of, kind of buff it on there, so to speak. Kind of take some of the white off if that's not what you're going for. And it wasn't today. That was not what I was going for today. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Oh, Martha, that's a good idea. You're saying that a lot of times you do some fussy cutting when you're kind of stuck for ideas, and it gives you something to still do. You probably still feel productive when you're doing that, right? Okay, so now we can fold this in here. This is going to go up, and we can do that either way. We can probably fold this up first. And, we can put our pockets. Well, this got a little bit... Well, why in the world did that not come out like that? Now I've got my... I'm kind of aggravated about that. You know what? I'm going to just maneuver this into where I want it so that that piece is not sticking out. See, because look, it's coming out over that edge. So I'm going to just hold this here. And then I'm going to take my bone folder. I might take my bone folder. Oh my word. Got it. And then I'm going to push from here and go out like this. And now it's folded, so now I don't have this edge sticking over here. And that's how you can do it. And I mean, you can see that it's just barely showing the other piece, and that's going to be okay. I mean, that's just not that big a deal, all right? So now we can take some of these little pieces that we cut here, and we can use them for some pockets. And I'm going to just use scissors and get this part trimmed off because it's not looking too great. Stephanie, that's a great thought. Yeah, if you're trying to do some junk journaling and you don't really have a lot of stuff yet that you want to add to it, that's a great thing to do, is just do some get some little things like that and work on trimming them up and build yourself a collection of things that you can have handy to put in your journals. That's a great idea. Okay, so now here, now this thing is kind of bending a wonky way, and it goes right to the edge, and I like that for this piece. I'm going to go ahead and put this on there, and I think I will go ahead and put a little thumb notch in it. Got to make sure I've got it going the right way, right? Just put this on here. Now, while I'm thinking about it, I might want to go ahead, and if I'm going to put a piece of decorative paper on here, I probably want to do that right now. So I've got some papers here. And you guys, you might look at these and think, what in the world is she doing? This doesn't seem like a spring bunny thing if she's starting with a brown piece of paper, right? But when I pulled out paper and I thought, well, what am I going to use? I just thought that a lot of these papers, so this is a pale green, and it's kind of like brown, goes with most anything. Think of dirt. It's like how I think about green. We've got green going on, and my grandma used to say that green went with everything. Think of flower stems. That flower stems and grass were green, and so all the things in nature, almost any color, looked great. Sorry, you guys. There's that crazy dog. We keep laughing about it, but doesn't it seem to be true? Every time I get in here and sit down to do a live, there he is. It's crazy. Just crazy. Oh, Stephanie says she's been making thousands of digitals and she's not made anything for herself. Right? Sometimes that happens, and then it's like, well, why haven't I done anything for myself? Well, good for you for deciding that you're going to. I applaud you for that. Martha says when she uses her bone folder, she starts in the center to go one way and then the other. Why did I start on the opposite side? Because that was where I was going, Martha. And I'll explain that. When I had this over here, this edge was too far over here. And so I pulled the paper right to the edge here. And so that direction is where I needed to push the fold. It wasn't folded in the right place. So that's why. And yes, if you're doing a regular fold with a piece of paper, yes, you usually want to, work differently and more into the center and fold it. But I was specifically trying to shove it the other direction. And that's why I put the bone folder here. I pulled it right here at the edge where I wanted it, and then I pushed it over this way. So yeah, thanks for asking, right? So I hope that makes sense to you. And so now we've got, some little papers that we can use here and just kind of decorate. I have no rhyme or reason to which colors I want to use where. But I just think that all of them will look fine. Now, that's not true. I do think I want to use this one here in the center. I think that would look cute. You know what, you guys? Since I only have this one paper trimmer and I've got some other papers, I'm going to grab a new blade. I don't want to spend time making something and it just be a real mess. And since I knew where a blade was, that could be that's a whole different story, right? So here's one of the blades to this. Let's swap it out real quick. If you have one of these paper trimmer, this is a Stampin' Up! One, but I think there are other ones. I think there's some Fisker paper trimmers that have this same thing. Right in here is a place that is a little bit wider. It looks like, and I heard one time somebody thought theirs was broken. That is not broken. It's meant to be like that. And you pull this up right here where this is, and that's where you can pull it out. You got to kind of wiggle it around, but that's where that's meant to come out. And so I'm just going to put in this other new one. So same thing. You just get it in there to the place that's wide, and now you've swapped out your blade. Okay. So now I don't have to worry about it being all raggy. Raggedy. Oh, smooth. It glides so smooth. Okay, and I'm going to cut this part off. And then after I get that done, I'm going to look in here and see if I can figure out where I want to cut it. And you know, I could take it and do it right in the center. I think this is fine because once I fold this up, a lot of that's not going to show. I am not going to glue this piece though. And you know, that is something else we could think about. Maybe we want to put it all the way down here, and then, you know, as it folds up, that could be kind of fun. In fact, let's do that. Let's measure here and see how much that would be. I'm fighting with the tools, you guys. Let's see how wide this is. This is basically 4 inches. So let's just cut this at 4 inches. Let's do it at 3 3/4. And that'll give us, you know, I'm going to do it a little bit more. I just want a tiny bit of that brown showing. And that's it. Just a tiny bit. And then right here, how much is this? We're just going to do this. Now this might have to be a different thing up there because this is going to be too short. So if we make a piece that is about 2, I'm going to say 2 5/8. We'll just cut that at the bottom. So 2 5/8. We'll cut it here. Am I gonna have any time to, yeah, I was gonna say, I'm just gonna spend all this time piddling around and not have any time to decorate, but I will. So now we'll just put this here and we will, oh my gosh, that is that is wrong. Whatever I did, it's wrong. What in the world? Wait, I totally miscalculated. Oh, this side's 4.5. Where did I come up with 4? Well, how big is this piece? This'll work. Sort of. This'll sort of work. We'll make it work, right? Didn't notice the word rising until you mentioned it. The word rising? I'm not sure what you mean. I guess I didn't notice it. Right. Oh my goodness. Well, this one is going to be closer, so I guess I'd rather use this one. Isn't that the way? And then it was for this section. Let's do about 2 inches or 2 1/8 down here. I'm always flipping these around. And who knows if this will be, well, so like, well, what kind of measuring skills does she have? And that doesn't even look right. You guys, I do not know what has happened here. Oh, goodness. You know what I'm going to do with this one, you guys? I'm going to take this one and I'm going to use a pencil. Oh, and now you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use that green check and put the green on the bottom down here. Let's do that, okay? And you guys will be glad to know I have gotten out a new bottle to put glue in to quit messing around with that other one. I don't know. At some point, they get to where the little tips just get clogged. And I don't know. It might be partly because I'm not so sure that this little plastic tip thing did not get damaged. And there's getting more air in there than I would care for it to have. And that can be a problem. So I'm just going to put this on here, kind of get it straight as I can. Smooth it out. Okay. Phew. And who knows? Maybe we won't put that on there. Since this is kind of sky color, did we have any pieces of that left that would work? No, not really. That's too small and looks too silly. We could put the... Oh, I know. There's a piece of sky right here. Let's cut a piece of this one. Oh, actually, this looks like maybe this went there, but that's too small. Oh, me oh my. And I think I'm going to try to do it so it's kind of in that same corner, because I think the design might kind of carry better if it's in that same corner. So let's make sure that we are cutting it the same as this. 4 1/4, and then it needs to be, I'm going to make it 2 3/4. 4 1/4 by 3 3/4. 2, oh my word. Two 3/4 high. What did I say? 4 1/4. 4 1/4 wide. I get to yapping and I can't hardly remember. Hi, Christy. How are you doing? So 4 1/2 wide. Oh my gosh. I'm not even going to... We're going to have to stop playing around with this and at least get something decorated cute. 2 3/4. Okay, so now we've got this. So this can go up here as sky. That'll look cute. How is that wrong? This is ridiculous today, you guys. Somebody should... I need supervision today. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Missy. How are you guys? Okay. Make sure it folds. When you're putting stuff on, make sure the paper still folds. Okay, now we're just going to put a little bit of glue on. This glue, and you know, since I filled the glue up, and it is, I use that reptile glue, and you know, it is just, when it's new, it is so liquidy, and it is so easy to get on. And you know, some of these things, the more that they sit around and they're in the bottles and not being used, or you know, whatever, they get kind of thick. Okay, I'm just going to make sure that it's lined up on both of those edges. I'll just do that. Oh, that is pretty tight. Yep, that's wrinkly. It's too close to the bottom. You have to leave enough of a gap so that it can fold, you guys. And that's why it's kind of nice if you make it look like it's matted. I am not going to do anything with that right now because I can't deal with that anymore. And I wish that had been... something else. But let's move on. Let's put something else down there. I've got some cute little, you guys are like, when is she getting a rabbit on here? Let's put a little bit of fence or something down here. How about that? That can be a little bit of a pocket thing right there. Let's do that. Then I don't even have to measure. Could we, is that going to be big enough? Nope. Let's just use this. I'm just going to cut the whole strip out, and then I can see where I want to put it. Okay. Hey, Jen, how are you? Measure twice and still. I know, right? And, you know, it's just so irritating when you know that when you try to measure it so it's not, you know, like a mess. Now, this has a little bit of a border, but, you know, so that you can cut it out and it's not just white behind it. So we don't have to go through every little post. But, I don't want to do it just straight. I want it to have a little bit of, you know, movement. Like it's a little bit more organic than that. And then we can put a little bit right here. And then we can, let's do this. Let's cut it. I'm going to cut it, let me do a little fold. If I cut it along here, and kind of, I don't want to just cut it straight. You can kind of just give it a little wavy line like the other side. There. There we go. I'm going to cut this little pointy part off. I don't need that. And then if you want to, you can add a little bit of ink on there. Just to give it a little bit of something, right? And it's like, you know, once you and I didn't ink any of those sides. I didn't even think about it. I was having so much trouble measuring, I didn't even think about that. So I'm just going to put this here, like this. We could tuck something in there, so I think I'm going to move it up, because if I put it on both sides, it could kind of stick right there. It'll kind of be like a horizontal belly band. How about that? I don't know yet what we'll put in there. Oh, I might have an idea. Well, if we do that, I need it to be lower. Okay. And we could put, there were some flowers on here. We could add a little cluster of flowers along the side. That'd be cute. Oh, still no bunny yet. Oh my goodness. We got to get to a place and get the bunny, right? You guys are going to love the bunny. My bunny sheet is cute. You know what? I wanted to have these and get them in the store before now. And then I thought, well, I really hadn't printed them and tried them out yet. And you don't really want to put something in your store if you haven't tried it out, right? I mean, who can agree with that? Hey, Becky. Hi, Sherry. I think everyone would agree to that. What have you guys been up to? For some of you that were in that terrible snow weather the other day, how's that coming along? Now this one, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue along the corner, and it could still be like a corner tuck spot, okay? So there we've got some little flowers there. Look at that. Look, isn't that cute? Okay, now then, let's put some... what should we do? You know, we want to get our pocket on so that we can have our gift card. But you know, I'm thinking we might want to put that on the inside, because that could be a safer space, right? And this, I made this pocket long enough so if you have some photos that you want to tuck in here, they don't necessarily have to live in there like a pocket, but they could. We could put, you know, something across here so it still could be a pocket. I wish I'd have printed out more of this stuff. But it is, so if you're looking at pictures that are like about 4 by 6, this is like 4.5 inches. So if you want to just, you know, put them in there like that, that would be great. They would stay until somebody, you know, opened it up. I think that would be fun. And I wish I would have made that a little bit higher. What time is it? Okay. So now we've got this here. I don't know. I almost want that to be tucked in over here. And you just have to kind of play around with what you feel like, you know, once you get these in the process, you have to kind of feel, you know, fold and decide what feels best as to how it's folding, because they don't always fold exactly the same. Okay. If you've got thicker things or whatever for a folio, you maybe, you know, have to give it a little bit more room. Let's see. I don't know. Okay, let's get one of our, you know what? Let me get one of our little rabbits here. And we could put a little rabbit here somewhere too. Or since this is bigger, I've actually got some larger ones and I wasn't sure where they were going to fit. We could put one of them over here. Guys, let's just put him right here. And then I printed some that were a little bit smaller. They aren't, it's the same sheet. I just, on the printer, I just told it to, I think the next sheet I printed at 75%. When you get ready to print, one of the things is like a percentage if you want to scale your print. So it doesn't have to be any more difficult than that. There. Can put him right there. Okay, I've got the bunny. I got the bunny. And I'm just going to put a little bit here. And I'm just going to glue him flat down for now. Because he is just printed on paper. It's not cardstock or index or anything that's a little bit heavier. He's just on paper. Look, and that looks cute with the little grasses there. So let's just put him down. Well, when I said I was going to do an easy folio, well, I tell you what, in all fairness, my idea for my folio kind of morphed from when I decided I was going to do that. Hi, Kathy. How are you? Let me look over here and make sure I don't have any comments on YouTube that I didn't respond to. Okay. All right. So there we go. We've got him there. And so we've got lots of places here to still decorate. What do you guys think? Should we put a place that could be for the gift card? Should we put it on the inside or right here when you open it up? What do you guys think? What would be your choice? What do you think? I mean, because we can do either way. I'll go ahead and ink while you respond. And then I will think about what color to cut for this. Oh, I wonder if one of these other things would work, you guys. Oh, look, you guys. We could put this here. Oh, that would be fun. Let's do that. Let's cut that here. The inside. It's kind of what I'm thinking, Kathy. I'm so sorry, you guys. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push it over a little bit. And I am going to cut it off here. And then it's good like that. And you know, I can go ahead and glue that on. Yeah, Stella says inside too. I think you guys are I like that idea too. I start saying, I think you're right. It's really not right or wrong, right? I think, but to me, it makes a little bit more sense because it seems like it would be safer, right? A little bit safer. And I'm going to put this here. Kind of scooch it over just ever so slightly. And then I can flip this over and cut it back out. There. Okay. So we can put that there, and then we'll just put it here. Except now it's too tight. I didn't even think of that. Because it's the same piece that we took off. Are you leaving? Okay. Okay, all right. Bye. Okay, bye-bye. All right. I'm going to do a little bit more. And you know, since it's that same brown color, you're not even going to notice it. Okay, there we go. So now we're just going to, a big glue bubble. We're just going to put a little bit along the sides and the bottom. And just enough to hold it down. We don't want to get it, the glue too far on the sides. The bottom doesn't really matter. The sides on this part are what matter where your glue is, because we don't want them to come too close and make it too tight for the, you know, to get the card in, right? Okay. And I'll put it, squish it this way. And, you know what I might do is just stick a card in here. Make sure it's got plenty of room. Okay, that's got plenty of room. It's wide enough that it almost didn't really need to have a lot of anything. Okay, look at that. Now, let's see about what else we could put there. Maybe we'll just put a little cluster of flowers there. I had these. These were like a different style, though, of flowers. You know, I think I'm missing something. Hang on. I think I'm missing a page. Oh, here we go. This had some words. Oh, little joys. Let's put that. Because then if you're going to use it for a gift card, that is a little joy, right? That'd be fun. And those scissors are... These are kind of overkill at this point, these giant scissors. And you don't have to, you know, you don't have to be too exact. And it's kind of got these little, the lines aren't super straight anyway. But I'm just going to hit it with a little bit of ink. And I do want to put a little closure on here too before we're done. We're doing okay. I don't know that we're going to get it completely done, but we're doing okay. Let's put it like here. Little joys. Look at that. Oh, I'm liking the way it's coming together. What do you guys think? Yes. Kathy says safer. Also, if we're receiving the gift, it just makes sense for it's inside. True. Well, it's still going to be inside. Even if it was in here, you'd still have to open it this way as well. I wish that this part hadn't been quite so rough up there at the top. You know, I could. Well, It's kind of a little bit late for that. Let's see about putting something cute on the front. If we do the front and the back, then I can show you a fun way to put on a closure. Should we do another kind of greenish color? What shall we do? I kind of like the, I don't know. I love all of them. I'll just let you pick. Who wants to pick first? And this one, this yellow has a little bit of kind of a pale polka dot. Isn't that fun? And it's almost like it also has these lines to where it's kind of like a little grid almost, if you will. So it's kind of grid and polka dot. So I've got these papers here. What do you guys think? Who wants to pick a paper for us to go forward? What do you think we should put for the cover? You know what? That other paper that we used inside, that would be so fun on the cover, wouldn't it? It would be so fun. And I think we want to make sure that we get one of our, oh, well, maybe we should plan this. If we're going to put the bunny, if we want a bunny right on the cover, which one should we put? Why don't we, let's decide that. Let's decide with our bunny on the front. Which color do we want? Oh, I don't know. It is spring-like. Maybe this. Maybe the blue. Maybe the green. Oh, you know, the green. Kind of the green and the yellow. And we'll cut it around one of them. This is cute with this one. Maybe some inked orange or green edges. Well, if I had green or orange right here, that would be cute though. Because, you know, we often think about rabbits with carrots, right? That would be cute. That's a great idea. I like that. I like that idea. You know what? I think, is this too big? Well, we also have to think, we're going to put something around. I don't want this to get too big because I'm going to have a closure. Maybe a smaller one. Now, this was the one that I did at 75%. If I put this here, and the ribbon okay, this might help you. You know I have inks. Yes, I do have inks. You know what? I think I'm going to put this one on here because it's kind of low, and I have some pink ribbon to use for my closure. It's a pink check. So I think this will be cute to put on the front. See, now you guys, I should have given you all the info to help you choose, right? If I would have said, I have a pink and white check ribbon for my closure. That might help you decide. There we go. Let's do a little inking. Inking. Just a little. So, you know, you can, when you use printables, you can print them on paper like this and still be able to glue them if you've got more structure underneath. If you've got things that you want to be using for, you know, something that might be cards or whatever, then you probably want to use something, a paper that's a little bit heavier. I really like, I found some paper that is more an index color. I don't like that. I mean, I like it, but got this. I don't really I'm struggling. Well, you know what? This would be kind of cute. And where's the pink ribbon? See, we've got the pink. It almost looks cute just on the brown. And that's what I was thinking. You know, some of these things, you're surprised how nice they look together. Look how that pink and brown, that looks fine. But what if I use the pink? Yeah, I just have an hour for my time in the group, and then the other people are going to be coming right on after me. That would be cute. And then the pink and white ribbon. Oh, that's kind of cute. I kind of like that. Let's just do it. We're going to have to pick something, you guys, or we're not going to get done. Right? At some point, you got to pick something. Okay, I'm going to try to measure this correctly. 4.5. I'm going to do 4.25 by 6.25. 4.25 by 6.25. Let's see if I can do it. Our time is ticking away. We've got to be able to do this so that we can see what the closure is going to look like, right? You got to see the closure. Did I say 4.25 by 6.25? Yes, because I don't know, did I? Yes, because it's going to be big enough. That's not, let me see, 4.25. That way? Yes. Maybe pink won't be the color if I mess it up. By 6.25. So I think 6.25 is right out here to the edge. It's like one of those measurements that's always kind of annoying because it falls right in the middle here of where the blade extension is. Okay, let's see if I did it. Who knows? Look at that, would ya? Woohoo! Now, I do think I'm going to go ahead and ink this a little bit. Just a little. Since it's going to be on the cover. It'll be kind of cute. Give it a little something, something. But anyway, and I didn't even get any more of the pockets. But thanks for hanging out with me today, you guys. This has been fun. I can't wait to see what everybody does for their things. But, you know, you could use this for a, you know, kind of an expanded greeting card, so to speak. And if you wanted to give it to someone, you know, we're making a spot where you could do a gift card. I made this specifically to where it was big enough in the center for photos. And, you know, a lot of times we don't think about, everybody keeps their phones, you know, their pictures on phones. And so sometimes you don't realize what a gift it is if you give somebody a photo. There's a place at the mall that they'll take a picture from your phone and print it on something. I swear I think it's a piece of wood. My husband has been to the mall and come home with something printed on a piece of wood. Not once, but twice. I'm like, what? Well, it just sounded like a good idea. Tahoo. Sorry if you have a business where you do that. Just like, whatever, dude. Oh my goodness. And we could, you know, add some more on there. I don't really want to. I just want my bunny. Oh, I know. Let's put our bunny on and have it say something. What can we have it say? Where's the words? The word sheet was somewhere here. I found it. Oh, these are kind of wide. Little joys of the season. That'd be kind of fun. Sweet spring, gentle days, simple things, bloom time. I like the little joys of the season. I'm going with that one. And my big scissors. I think they'll be fun. I gotta hurry up. I want to show you the closure. It's one of my if you guys watch me You'll know it's not the first time I've shown it, and it's one of my favorite. It's just a little bit different, but it's super handy. I might need to put it on before we do this. Let me go ahead and show you. Okay, so you've got your item, and you make one hole over here, and you can do cute things to reinforce it. You can put another, another something on there. A little oval, even a little circle. Even if you just want to punch a hole, that works fine. So I have this little slot punch here, and I'm going to use that today. And so I want it kind of in the center of this, and I'm going to just punch it. I wonder if I should measure it. That looks in the center. I'm just going to go for it. So we're just going to push this in here. I hope it'll go through, you guys. Oh, it did. Now, on the back, right on the back side here, we're straight across from it, we're going to do another one. But this one is only going to be halfway. We only want to see half the hole right here, okay? Just half. Because we want, oh, that's kind of thick. Gosh, I hope it's going to work. So I can kind of line it up. And so see how I only have part of that in there? We don't want it all the way. It could potentially make a double hole. So we don't want that. Okay, so now I've got this hole. So when we open it up, then there's your little hole, because we tried to do it halfway. Okay, so now then what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to string it inside here and outside like this. All the way around, and then you just have to have enough to tie. So now we can tie it like this. I've still got it on the spool. Okay, that looks like it's going to be plenty. Yeah, that looks like a nice amount to tie. I'll just cut it off there. That piece is all raggedy. And so now we can just tie it, and then you still have the front to where it looks nice. And why was I thinking I wasn't going to be able to? Okay, I thought about that completely wrong. I was thinking this was going to go straight across. It's going straight across inside, which, you know what? All you'd have to do is put your liner piece. I can't get it undone. Oh my goodness. When you're making it like this, then you could put your liner piece here and cover it up. And then for sure it's not going to slip around and leave and move somewhere you didn't want it to be, right? So we can put our little joys of the season. Oh my goodness, you guys. Is there enough room on here for this dude? This is one of my favorite ones. I might have to reprint this so it's a little bit smaller. You guys, is this not cute or what? Oh my goodness. I think he's too wide. Well, maybe if we cut him closer, that might be big enough. And then just wiggle your paper. You don't have to do your scissors. It's just a way to do it. Let's see. Will he fit on there? Oh, look, he'll still on there. Little joys of the season. How about that? I love it. I think he's adorable. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out today. I can't, you know what? And I am a bad presenter. Who is going to be up next? I hope you are watching in the Crafty Bunch group, because all you have to do is just refresh your your browser, and our next presenter will be on next. It's like magic, just a magic show online. There we go. There he is in the grass, enjoying the little joys of the season, you guys. And I hope that you're enjoying the little joys of the season, whether it's things blooming at your, in your area yet. Maybe you aren't having anything blooming yet, but enjoying knowing that time of year is near, right? I think so. Look, it doesn't matter what I do. If I have a new thing, it's still clogged up. Okay, there we go. But thanks for joining me today, you guys. It's been fun. I wish I'd have gotten this finished, but that's how it is when you're live. You don't know how long it's going to take you, right? I'm just going to put this on. It was great to see you too, Stephanie. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. So my time is up. And I'm going to go see who is there. I'll meet you over there. Meet you in the Crafty Bunch, you guys. Take care, everybody. And thank you. And I will, before I sign off, I will say thanks so much, Nicole. This has been a fun event. A very fun theme. And she always comes up with fun themes, you guys. I will take some of her themes anytime. And thank you, Cheryl, Mama P's Crafty Creations, for being behind our whole group over at the Crafty Bunch and being supportive of everyone. You guys take care. I'll see you over there. Bye-bye.